I mean, I internalized that as opportunity. We had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something and to have the opportunity to deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yes.
As someone who is so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people who are indifferent.
Blasé.
I really don't like this woman. I am so angered by her ability to think she can just take control and she knows better. Because of Justin's cut and a lot of stuff that happened, she realized they had a hit on their hands.
Well, I actually knew of the film before I knew of Colleen's book, which is, I know, a unique entry point, but I think because I just have 1,000 children, I, have missed all of pop culture. Her significant impact in the world of books. I mean, so many of her books are on the New York Times bestseller. I mean, it's crazy.
She has made herself into the new Amber Heard. And now he's going full Johnny Depp on her to show that she was the bully. She was the one harassing him. This guy who had, comparatively very little power was forced now to come out and tell the truth about Blake Lively.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, think of the ladies I can. This is a horrible thing to say. I've got a long list. And I was like, oh really? Because I just have one on my list.
Oh.
I don't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, he's like, wait, who? And I was like,
Tell
okay,
me, he's
think
guessing.
of someone, think of someone.
Right.
Bob Newhart, I don't know.
The idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days. People care so much more about your personal life than they do your work. And if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue. So I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear. But it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting.
Have you heard the jaw-dropping rumor tearing through Hollywood right now? People are claiming that Tom Holland just exposed Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively for allegedly cornering him in a twisted Marvel con, one that reminds folks of the fiasco Justin Baldoni supposedly went through. The talk is that Ryan's been burning with envy over Tom's Spider-Man stardom, bitter he never got to web-sling across the Marvel universe. And now, Tom's had enough of what he calls a manipulative stunt, snapping back with furious accusations that have the entire industry whispering, is Ryan's squeaky-clean image finally unraveling? You won't believe these stories swirling around Tinseltown, so buckle up because we're about to dismantle one of the most shocking showdowns in recent memory. If you're wondering how 2 major household names went from polite acquaintances to alleged backstabbers, sources say it all started with a single spark of jealousy. Tom Holland exploded onto the scene as Spider-Man. He nailed the role so thoroughly that even veteran Marvel fans couldn't stop applauding. Ryan Reynolds, who'd already carved out a comedic, cheeky niche as Deadpool, was said to be anything but thrilled. Some folks whisper that Ryan was convinced he'd dominate Marvel's comedic superhero brand, only for Tom's portrayal of a bright-eyed, witty, unstoppable Spider-Man to steal that thunder. Allegedly, it wasn't just mild envy, it ran deeper. Ryan had been showbiz royalty for a while, his name synonymous with big box office hits and unstoppable sarcasm. Then Tom showed up with a refreshing style that fans adored, youthful, genuine, and surprisingly agile when it came to major stunts. Suddenly, Ryan wasn't the only charismatic star overshadowing everyone else in comedic superhero territory. But here's where things get outrageous. People hint that Ryan tried to undercut Tom's opportunities by nudging certain gatekeepers at Marvel to see if they could adjust Tom's future involvement. The rumor, of course, has never been confirmed by official channels, but that hasn't stopped it from festering among fans who smell more than a hint of sabotage. Through it all, Tom, who once admired Ryan's comedic timing and box office presence, grew suspicious. He noticed certain deals either stalling or coming with bizarre clauses. Was it just a coincidence, or was someone quietly turning the gears against him? That's the question that apparently kept Tom up at night. And sure enough, the more Tom dug, the more his alleged frustration ballooned. But if you think it was all about Ryan's jealousy, think again. Because Blake Lively's name pops up in every rumor, fueling speculation that she might have orchestrated more than anyone realizes. Blake Lively, famous for her glam red carpet, presence and quick-witted remarks, typically exudes a friendly, all-American vibe. But the rumor mill is painting a much darker portrait. Word is, Blake had a strong hand in pushing Ryan to confront Tom in subtle, manipulative ways. She didn't just cheer from the sidelines, she was steering the ship, if you believe certain insiders. Allegedly, she reasoned that letting Tom's star climb unimpeded would flatten Ryan's comedic brand. After all, how could Ryan stand out if another Marvel hero was hogging the spotlight with a charming accent and unstoppable positivity? Supposed insiders point to hush-hush phone calls and cryptic text exchanges that detail how the two might corner Tom into signing or rejecting certain Marvel crossovers. The angle was to make Tom question his own career, sowing doubt so Ryan could step in heroically, or so the story goes. But the script took a turn when some folks started comparing Tom's predicament to the alleged manipulations Justin Baldoni once endured. Justin, best known for various heartfelt projects, reportedly also felt the sting of being led astray by star-studded power players. The parallels are uncanny, at least to those who claim they've seen these hush-hush messages. We don't have official receipts, no public screenshots have surfaced. Yet speculation remains unstoppable. People in the industry are asking, is Blake every bit the cunning mastermind behind her husband's comedic empire? Did she nudge Ryan to pull strings and corner Tom, worried that they might lose the public's adoration if the younger star soared unopposed? If so, it's a cunning move worthy of any high-stakes soap opera. And just wait, because word on the street is there's so-called leaked audio that could blow these allegations sky high. But before we dive into that, let's talk about how this all ties back to a rumored Marvel scam. Picture this. Tom, enthusiastic about new collaborations with Marvel, fields a sudden flurry of contract amendments and bizarre deal terms that do nothing but tie his hands. According to rumor, these conditions got slapped onto the table at the last minute, leaving Tom wondering who was orchestrating such chaos. Suspicion quickly turned to Ryan and Blake, who allegedly had the power and connections to tweak behind-the-scenes negotiations. Some say Ryan leveraged his comedic star power to slip in suggestions that undercut Tom's creative control or diluted his presence in certain upcoming Marvel phases. Sources even claim certain Marvel higher-ups were left baffled by new proposals, or at least whispered among themselves that something fishy was unfolding. But nobody wanted to cross Ryan Reynolds, a proven comedic draw with a robust, near-untouchable brand. This is where the word scam keeps creeping into conversation. People are labeling it a calculated deception, orchestrated to leave Tom shortchanged in the grand Marvel storyline. After all, if Tom's star dims, that leaves a vacuum for Deadpool's comedic edge to stay front and center, overshadowing Spidey's youthful spark. And the story doesn't stop with Marvel. This rumored scam allegedly shows a pattern. It's reminiscent of the fiasco that Justin Baldoni reportedly faced. Different context, same manipulative blueprint. If that's to be believed, Ryan and Blake aren't exactly amateurs at cornering unsuspecting industry peers. They're rumored to keep their circle close, their methods subtle, and their tracks covered. So if Tom felt trapped, it wouldn't be the first time. But trust me, this con only gets hotter once we step into Tom's explosive reaction and Ryan's rumored jealousy factor. Tom Holland built his name on being an affable, polite presence, especially when you see him goof around in interviews or accidentally spill Marvel spoilers. It's hard to imagine him as a raging figure behind the scenes. But the rumor says that once he caught wind of these alleged manipulations, he flipped. We're talking livid phone calls, enraged comments to close friends, and a vow to never again be played like this. Some claim Tom's meltdown behind closed doors was epic enough to rattle even the steadiest of Marvel veterans. At the heart of his fury, Ryan's jealousy. Allegedly, Ryan was so fed up with hearing how adorable or perfect Tom was in the Spidey suit that he decided to undercut Tom's success, brand him as too naive or too green for major crossovers. The hush-hush talk is that Ryan told certain bigwigs Tom would overshadow fan favorites if he got too many cameo appearances. Now, does that make sense logically? Maybe not, but petty jealousies rarely lean on logic, do they? Meanwhile, Tom felt betrayed on multiple fronts. To him, Ryan had always seemed like the supportive comedic guy who might pass on a few wisecracks, but ultimately be a team player. Yet behind the scenes, Tom saw a different story. Ryan possibly undermining him every chance he got. And the more Tom peeled back the curtain, the more he found references to Blake egging Ryan on, telling him not to let the new kid hog the spotlight. At least, that's the version floating around. True or not, it's a combustible rumor. And if you think the drama ends there, wait until you hear about how Hollywood's biggest names are reacting. While Tom might be at the center of this storm, he's certainly not alone in dealing with shocking revelations. The rumor is that Chris Evans, known to be a supportive presence on set, offered Tom quiet words of encouragement. Something like, "Keep your head up. People play dirty sometimes." On the other side of the coin, Robert Downey Jr. supposedly brushed off the drama with a cryptic shrug, rumored to say, "Hollywood games never change," in that laid-back Tony Stark manner. It's unclear whether they fully believe Tom or if they're just tired of behind-the-scenes madness. Scarlett Johansson and Chris Hemsworth might have gotten wind of these rumors too. Some tabloids suggest they privately sympathized with Tom because they've witnessed the chaos that can swirl around star-studded power couples. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's name keeps popping up as if he's part of some cautionary tale. Like he could have forewarned Tom about the Reynolds-Lively duo's alleged manipulative skill. The idea is that Justin spotted a pattern, recognized the same hush-hush moves, and wanted to tip Tom off before it was too late. But we can't forget that Hollywood is a place of loyalty shifts. There are those who remain die-hard Ryan Reynolds fans, chalking this entire fiasco up to Tom being oversensitive or reading too much into normal industry politics. The schism, however, grows every day as more details leak. If the rumors about secret audio are true, we could see lines drawn in the sand. Will the comedic darling Ryan stand tall against the heroic youngster Tom, or will new bombshells blow Ryan's squeaky-clean persona to pieces? That's the question everyone's whispering about. But the biggest stunner is yet to come. Supposedly, there's real evidence swirling around, waiting to see the light of day. People close to Tom, if you believe the talk, are saying they've collected everything. From suspicious text messages to voice recordings that paint a damning picture of Ryan and Blake's behind-the-scenes moves. Imagine a short clip of Ryan mock-laughing about Tom's stunts, or confiding to a Marvel insider that Spidey's overhyped. Or an audio snippet of Blake telling a friend, "We can't let Tom overshadow Ryan again, it's messing with our brand." None of these are confirmed to exist, but the rumor alone is enough to spark a frenzy. Fans are already scouring social media, hoping for leaks. Tom, known for accidentally spoiling plot points, might ironically find himself the one releasing a bombshell that tears down the Reynolds brand. That's the scenario people keep whispering about in fan forums. Tom dramatically dropping the receipts in a scorching interview, leaving Ryan's carefully cultivated comedic persona in tatters. It's the stuff of tabloid dreams, a cinematic reveal that calls out every cunning tactic. And that's not even mentioning the alleged meltdown behind the curtains. Ryan's supposedly going ballistic if he learns Tom has something tangible. But the real twist is how the public reacts. Will audiences turn on Ryan, someone they've admired for his comedic timing and easygoing banter? Or will Tom be painted as a naive upstart stirring shit just to drum up attention? Either way, the tension is real, and the Hollywood rumor mill is devouring every morsel of gossip. A meltdown is brewing, but we're not entirely sure who will end up with egg on their face. And once again, Justin Baldoni's name hovers, reminding everyone of a past fiasco that never saw the light of day, presumably because he backed down. Tom might not be so quick to do the same. Now, as Marvel gears up for future phases and expansions, how does it handle this rumored civil war between Ryan Reynolds and Tom Holland? Some say Kevin Feige and other Marvel architects are trying to play peacemakers, hoping to calm the storm before it tarnishes the brand. The last thing Marvel needs is to watch two fan favorites tear each other down, overshadowing upcoming releases. Yet the question remains, did they turn a blind eye to the alleged sabotage all along? So here we stand, at the crux of a swirling rumor that points fingers at Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively for setting Tom Holland up in a Marvel scam, all fueled by jealousy over Tom's unstoppable Spider-Man legacy. There's talk of covert phone calls, tampered contracts, cunning persuasion, and hush-hush meltdown moments. The alleged parallels with Justin Baldoni's experience suggest this might not be the first time the star-powered couple has employed such tactics. And in a shocking twist, the fatherly comedic Ryan Reynolds we see on social media might be nothing like the cunning puppet master the rumors portray him to be. Is Ryan simply a comedic genius? Or could he be an entitled manipulator? Who targeted Tom out of resentment? Is Tom a naive victim of Hollywood politics, or is he capitalizing on a juicy story to stir up headlines? We can't confirm any of this, but the narrative is unbelievably captivating. With each new leak and cryptic hint, the lines between rumor and reality blur. And that begs the ultimate question. Will Ryan's empire crumble under the weight of these bombshell allegations, or will Tom end up with egg on his face forever challenging a comedic